While the world is distracted by the same old headlines, geopolitical bomb just detonated in the Horn of Africa, and its echoes are going to be felt from Jerusalem to Cairo. Israel has done what the rest of the world has been too terrified to do for 3 decades. They have officially recognized the independence of Somaliland. This isn't just a simple diplomatic gesture. It's the total incineration of 30 years of international lies. And to understand why this matters, we have to look at a map through the eyes of the people living there, starting with Ethiopia. 1977 Ogaden War. Back then, a unified Somalia invaded Ethiopia to seize territory. While Ethiopia eventually won, they learned a lesson that has never been forgotten. A united, aggressive Somalia is a direct threat to the very existence of Addis Ababa. And this is why, for the last 30 years, Ethiopia has played a quiet, strategic game of keeping Somalia fragmented. It's a harsh reality, but in the Horn of Africa, you don't let your neighbor rebuild their muscles when they have spent decades promising to invade your territories. So here's where the story gets complicated for the average listener. People often hear Somaliland and think of a rebel province, but the reality is the exact opposite. When the central government in Mogadishu collapsed into civil war and chaos in 1991, the people in the north, Somaliland, refused to sink with the ship. They built their own police force, their own democracy, and when the south became a playground for Al-Shabaab and other terrorists, Somaliland became a bastion of stability. They didn't break away in a fit of anger. They survived while the rest of the country burnt. The Ethiopians realized early on that it would be much better to have a stable, peaceful partner on their border than a united Somalia that exists only as a failed state in a map. And then something happened in 2024 when Ethiopia signed a memorandum of understanding with Somaliland. It was a deal that would give Ethiopia 20 kilometers of coastline for a naval base in exchange for formal recognition. And this was a win-win. Ethiopia gets the lungs it needs to breathe through the Red Sea, and Somaliland gets the legitimacy it has been looking for over 30 years. But then the international community panicked. Egypt in particular saw this as an opportunity to strike. You see, as I've mentioned before, Egypt is in a bitter feud with Ethiopia over the Grand Renaissance Dam on the Nile. And because Cairo can't stop the dam with bombs and war, they are trying to choke Ethiopia from the outside by arming Somalia and promising to send troops to Mogadishu. Let's be honest, Egypt doesn't really care about Somalis or their sovereignty. They just want to fight Ethiopia and keep Ethiopia landlocked. So when this tension boiled over, Turkey stepped in and they diplomatically tried to settle the dispute. But the process was it was a pause, a stall tactic designed to protect Turkey's investments in Mogadishu and keep Ethiopia in its cage to appease Egypt. And so Turkey told Ethiopia to sit down and wait for permission from the Somali government, which doesn't even control its own capital city. It is in this situation that Israel walked in. By moving to recognize Somaliland, Israel effectively told the world that there is a new era, and asking Mogadishu for permission to engage in the Red Sea was officially over, at least from Israel's point of view. Israel's move is cold and calculated. I think it's brilliant. They are looking across the water at Yemen, where Iranian-backed Houthi proxies are choking international shipping lanes and and threatening the global trade. So Israel, realizing this, that the old Arab-dominated dynamics of the Red Sea are failing, they are trying to create a Red Sea axis, a new alliance of non-Arab reformist powers that can secure the Red Sea. In my opinion, this is the birth of a powerhouse triangle. You have the UAE that provides the massive capital and infrastructure to turn the port of Berbera into a global trading hub. You have Ethiopia that provides the muscle and opens its population to the global trade, and Israel provides the shield and the advanced technology and the architecture to turn the Horn of Africa into a success story. This alliance isn't just about trade. It's more than that. I mean, on one hand, it checkmates Iran's reach into Africa. It dilutes Turkey's monopoly on regional mediation, and it tells Egypt that their days of using Somalia as a pawn are finished. For 30 years, the West has been obsessed with the sovereignty of a failed state in Mogadishu, effectively telling the peaceful people of Somaliland that they must remain tethered to Somalia, no matter what they want. And I think Israel finally called that bluff. So where do we go from here? I mean, no doubt this is going to be painful and to many, and it's going to provoke people from every corner of the region, not just the Horn. And Egypt will probably rattle sabers. Turkey will protest, as they have already started to do. But the Red Sea, which is considered as the Arab lake, is no longer. The power dynamics are changing dramatically. And my question is, are we brave enough to admit it, that this is a masterstroke that finally stabilizes the region? Or do you think it's going to spark a final war? That's where I'm going to end this video. I really want to know what you think.